illusion.
Okay, you're live.
Live here on Friday afternoon, a glorious Friday afternoon. That is if your air conditioner didn't go out in the middle of the afternoon like mine did, but you know what? Here we are, Marcia and Reno with the HARP Effect, and our fabulous guest who's got something really exciting for us to find out about, and that is Barbara Berg.
I am so thrilled to be here, and Marcia, I love that ring.
I love this ring. Barbara gifted this ring to me when we were doing another show at one point in time. And Pam, you're so nice to host us here today at your lovely home.
I just think both you ladies are wonderful.
And bringing the extra crowd, the audience. We like an audience.
And this is Desi Arnaz, and that's Lucille Ball. They live here with me.
And you know what? Here you are, right on the film, and they told Lucille Ball she'd never make it.
Yep, she
so
made
there
it.
you did. There you go. Okay. Well, what we have to show you, and I'm going to let Barbara do a lot of the talking, because it's called Ring Shui. And can we see the rings at all? So,
yes.
Oh, good. And I'm sure many of you have heard of Feng Shui. But Ring Shui has to do with...
You go from feng shui for your house to ring shui for your hands, and picture the psychology in your head of where you want your life to go, mixing with energy that comes out. Each finger has its own energy. This has been going on for thousands of years, but many people didn't know all about it, and many astrologers do. And as I was writing self-help books, mainly for me because I was stressed, I came about the whole phenomenon and started observing after a while when I went through a rough time in my life. Wait a second. Am I seeing things here? Someone had told me while I was going through a pretty rough divorce in my midlife, take the rings off your middle finger because they are only going to bring you more conflict. And when I did, my life improved.
Can you imagine that? Reno, come here. Come here. We need to move the microphone a little closer to us here. I don't want anyone to miss what Barbara's saying. I find it fascinating. Take the rings off your middle finger because...
Because I'll tell you, it got vogue over time. And you know how the whole world will get involved in a trend. No one will talk about it. And across all the nations in all the world, about 60, 70 years ago, rings that were normally worn on the, quote, ring finger next to the pinky started moving to the middle finger. And it became, I don't need anyone. I can do it all myself. And that was moving in toward feeling independent, but you wear it there every day. You become isolated. And then when people say, how come I'm not in a relationship, or how come every relationship I have is bad after 3 months, it's because you've been sticking your middle finger out at the rest of the world every day of your life.
From wearing the ring in your
From
middle
wearing
finger.
the ring on your middle finger, because as I didn't know, because there are people who know, each part of our body exudes a certain energy. I didn't know any of this. I just got up in the morning and hoped for the best and the shoe wouldn't drop. And as I was writing my second book after writing What to Do When Life is Driving You Crazy, because it was, that's right there on the table. I was writing this to say, oh my gosh, my mother said, and this is the darn truth, she said, marry a doctor, you'll never have to worry. And he was absolutely wonderful. But then he got into chasing the horses around in circles, and before you know it, I realized that this was not for me, and he had some gambling things. And I can't blame it all on him because I could spend some money. So between the two of us, I had to work on myself. I write self-help books for me and hopefully other people. Well, I started dating other people, far worse than he was, and he's actually a very good guy, I must say. And I started writing my second book, How to Escape the No-Win Trap, where just because you break up with someone doesn't mean you don't meet the same messes. And I thought, the only thing between my last marriage and dating was me. So I had to start looking, what am I doing? During that time, I looked back at pictures from my marriage. I had been wearing middle finger rings toward the end of the marriage and pulling away and acting like I don't need anyone. And before you know it, when there was a chance to make up, we didn't. We got all ugly together, and before you know it, I was becoming a marriage counselor because I needed one. So here I am, humble pie. Someone had said in the midst of this, a mentor of mine, who was also a great chiropractor, who knew energy of the rings, take the rings off your middle finger. You'll only get more conflict during the divorce. I did, and he didn't say any more. I started wearing them here sometimes and here. The regular ring finger and your index finger, as I came to learn, this is the transformative finger, meaning good energy out there for you, and this is the stability finger.
See now, Barbara, if I was watching you for the first time and thinking about what you're saying and looking at all these different rings, I would also be looking at my hands and going, oh my gosh, well that shouldn't be. And so Barbara has written how many books?
I've written 4, and thanks to many wonderful women in what we call the Global Society for Female Entrepreneurs, I've been in chapters in other people's books now, thanks to extending the transformation finger. So, yeah, it's been 4 of my own.
The one on rings, because I find it fascinating.
Let's pull that one out. So I want to tell you what happened was I started observing, and even before the second book came out, I started observing on people when I was researching how do some people go through a rough time and it gets better, and other people go through rough times in their life and it keeps getting worse. I started simply observing. And a friend of mine came over, and this was 2009, right before it, and we pushed the button on the computer, lulu.com, and I published my first ring Shui. So this is the actual first publishing of it.
And where can people get this?
People can get it on Amazon.com, and they can also get it through BarbaraBerg.com and also RingShui.com. And so this was the first actual Ring Shui. And what happened was people started to see, wait a second, what's going on with the middle finger rings on me, and what does it mean about other people? And I actually got an award for the first one.
Ooh.
Because the lady that was giving me the award was having a rough time in her own life, and she was very lovely. And while I got the award, I was the most thankful day of my life at the Plaza Hotel in New York. These people were wonderful. The Independent Book Publishers Association were all going through it, and she was lovely. She said, where should I move my rings? So as I said, thank you very much. We were doing Ring Shui. And it was because of her that I started to feel I've got to write more.
Yes, indeed. And the thing that I find so fascinating is, can you believe, I bet you all are thinking, let's see, where did I put those rings? And you're going to your jewelry boxes, and you're going to pull out your rings, and you're going to go, this is why my life is working the way it is, good, bad, or indifferent. Even unbeknownst to you, you've been wearing the rings either incorrectly or correctly.
And what's so amazing, Marcia, is Ring Shui and Feng Shui, it's happening all the time. That closet you never clean out, that's stuffing problems for you all the time. The rings you have all in a muck, in some sort of a mess, it's gobbling up your chance to sort out somebody, and everything's in a hodgepodge. And when you start sorting things out, things start to move into some way of what can we do. And as I got past my how to escape the no-win trap, I started wanting to love again. What happens to us when we say, I'm never going to get married again, I'm never going to love again? And then one day, ding dong, gee, I think I'd like to meet somebody else, not to get married, but just to go to the movies or something. And ding, 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 I started collecting rings all over the house, and I never used to really wear a lot of rings.
How do you have all of these rings?
Well, I'll tell you, they were rings of like pieces of ceramic that looked like a ring, an ornament of a ring that went on a Christmas tree, all kinds of rings, and I didn't realize I was ring shuiing in, or feng shuiing in, my next husband, which is my present husband, on the cover of the book. But then Ring Shui came along right after that, and just as I met George, all of a sudden I ended up doing an interview one day with all this ring observation. This lady goes, it was Letitia Wright, what should we talk about today? And I said, hand shui. And I told her every observation I had. Then I met a feng shui master. Her name is Jennifer Bonetto. And then Lisa Greenfield. She was a world-class palm reader, and they all supported the book of Ring Shui.
Well, Pam, did you, when you first met Barbara, did you think like, wow, I mean, what is this?
I did, and she told me about this ring here should be here, but
Put your hand up so that Reno. Oh,
this one should be over here, but this one is this ring. It's really actually 3 rings. This only fits on this finger.
This is fabulous.
So I
this
can't
ring.
put it anywhere else.
But this is the perfect place because this is the I love myself so much. I'm choicey. And if I ever want someone to put the ring over there
and
again,
she doesn't like.
it's got to be right.
She doesn't like the rings on my baby finger.
Well, if it's all by
What about
itself,
mine?
it's not a team player. But this can be supportive to the next finger.
Because these probably aren't.
Well, they're very precious. Now tell me, where did you get these 2 rings? Because that counts, folks. Where you got the ring tells some of the story. So tell me this one that's closest to your heart, closest to your hand. Where'd you get that ring?
From my love Reno, and then he gave me the other one, and I put them together, even though I'm not sure that they work together.
Well, let's discuss. This is
I
both
think
you
they're
and
beautiful
him, and
together.
they're beautiful. And you put them on your left hand, and that so shows because the right hand is my effort out to the world, and the left hand is what comes to myself from my beloved. You felt beloved love from Reno, and you stuck it there. They're from him.
So then I always thought if I had a little guard ring in between them, they wouldn't like knock the stones out of each other.
Well, I guess if you ever kind of get into it with each other, you might just have get a little break now and then. But the bottom line is the 2 of you, what this shows me, I'm going to talk real psychology here.
Make sure that it goes.
The 2 of you want to be together. You're still sorting out how you're going to do it. You're still, right? You're still trying to create, what is this? And you want to be creative. Is it a marriage? Is it a wonderful connection, a commitment? And I don't know how far we're going to go with this conversation. But how,
we'll save this for a
we'll save
session.
this for another time. But is that true? You're still putting together. By the energy I pick up with the 2 of you is we love each other. We want to be together. We just don't know the words to call it yet. And create your own. What's it like hearing me say that to you?
Reno.
Well, when you talk about I'll come over that.
Yes. Because Reno has a great ring story from last week.
Okay.
But I mean, our relationship, I was born in East Los Angeles. She's born in the Midwest.
Barnesville, Ohio, to be
So
exact.
completely, back there you leave your doors open, you don't care. Where I come from, no, you lock the doors. And so that's always been a thing for us, even where we live in a gated community. But you're so right. Our diversity is what I think
But
ignites us.
celebrate the diversity. It doesn't have to fit in a box. You are both so incredibly intelligent and creative people. What I get from this is we have to do it our way. And you don't have to listen to anybody, right? And once in a while you'll probably say, he better do it. I want to do it my way. And he says I might want to do it my way. But so you're still defining the our way. So I have a thought. When you wear this ring here, it means I'm putting it out to you, Reno. I want the best for us. If you add another ring, I want the best to come to me, and I like to see what's going on in your hands, Reno.
Okay, so.
Forgot them during the whole, because our air conditioner went out, right? And we're fumbling around, and I had them right on the counter. I put on my bracelets, but I didn't.
Well, you got your bracelets, so you're giving it a shot. Where do you usually wear your ring?
But tell them what the story of the one ring. I mean.
Well, the one ring is related to 22 vets commit suicide every day, and
Yeah,
I was
I'm
part
very
of a
sorry
veteran
about
movement
that.
a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I had this my Mini Cooper, and Marcia puts her feet up on the dash, and all of a sudden this plastic thing looks like it pops off. Well, it was one of those pressing glove boxes, so when her foot went on, it opened, and I didn't know it for 2 years. And so she puts her hand in there, she pulls out this ring, and the ring on the inside is an inscription about bringing awareness to the veterans. And it fit perfectly. I wish I would have had it.
And it was in the car, and you
It was
didn't
in
know
the
about
car.
it?
And you
Yeah.
didn't know it.
And you didn't know, so what? So this was a mission that came to you.
Yeah.
So what finger would you wear it on?
Well, I switched. I put that on this one because it looks like a wedding band. That way it keeps the ladies away. No, I'm just kidding.
To be continued.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
And then the other one I recently bought from a friend. They have a store called Nativia, and they sell stones and
You would love
bracelets.
this.
Oh, I have to go. Where is that?
That's in La Quinta on the corner of Washington and 111.
We've got to go. We've got to go.
Nativa. It's just
Okay,
it
Washington
used to
and
be in La
111.
Quinta, and they moved it to where Bonds is and the U.S. Bank
And She's Candy.
and
Well, we can have it all then.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I finally bought a ring that I wanted. I had it for 2 days, gone, lost it, couldn't find it for a week and a half.
And that was how long ago?
Last week.
It was about 2 weeks ago that I refound it, and what happened was we freeze lemons because we grate them for our drink.
Oh, that's pretty
So
good.
when I was putting all
Health
the lemons
drink,
in the
not drink.
freezer, I guess it fell off in the bag, unbeknownst to me. So we were running out of lemons, and I stuck my hand in to get the last lemon, and like, wait, what's that?
You found it
I
again.
found it.
In the freezer.
Okay, so you brought something out of a cold chill into the warmth again. I would say the two of you have a rocket and rolling, interesting relationship. That's my take on the whole thing. And you're very, very interesting people. For the fact that you meet so many people, you are influencing many people as you help others influence other people. And so get to know yourselves even more what you want so all of us can learn from you. How do we make a creative relationship that isn't just cookie cutter? And the stories that people have when you lose rings and find them again, that's often that your subconscious is saying, I don't know which way to go here, and the universe is saying we're going to do part of the work for you. Sometimes you might lose a ring, it means you're meant to let it go, and sometimes you're meant to find it again.
Yeah, I was so giddy when I found it, though. It
Oh, he
funny.
was so. But
So you're refinding yourself? The two of you, you know what I suggest? The two of you go out and buy each other a ring and see where you put it and have a good time.
I have a neat ring story.
okay.
This little ring right here, this one right here, was given to me 15 years ago by a dear, dear friend who lives in Kansas. And about 3 months ago, I lost it, and I was just devastated. Because I was afraid when
happens a
she
lot
came
with
here
people.
that she would see that I lost the ring. So I was carrying a purse, and it was so heavy. This was just a couple of weeks ago. I took all the change out, and it was in my purse. It had been there for 3 months. So now my dear, dear friend Barbara gave me this ring last week to keep on the one that I kept losing. So I have a ring story too.
Yeah?
But notice it was the loss of the story, and then she found it again. So there are many losses of rings and stories about that. That's part of ring shui. And sometimes when people wear rings on fingers that may not be so healthy for them, and they lose them, it's a good one. And I have to share, the thumb ring is becoming a biggie too, along with the middle finger ring, and they make your life harder. When you have a ring on your right thumb, it means I have to do so much for other people in order for them to be okay, in order for me to keep them, because I can't trust if they're doing all right that they won't stay with me. And you get people not meaning to, so dependent on you, you can get sick after a while, and they'll resent that you do everything for them. On the left thumb, it means you take on 5 people's jobs and you don't get much credit or anything, but you take care of everybody, and you might say it's okay. But I recently ran into somebody who was taking on so much for other people, she hurt her all left arm and she couldn't move it.
Oh, wow.
So your body talks to you. When you're overdoing or underdoing, your body takes the hit, so to speak, and the ring can do the talking without you even knowing it.
So we can actually, by understanding this a little bit more, because we're both people.
Yes, you are.
People.
You're people.
by maybe just understand a little bit of this, when we're talking to people, we're looking at their fingers and go,
You'll learn so
yeah,
much.
it's interesting. Because I love human behavior.
I think it's so, I learn something every day. And I say to myself, okay, what else don't I know about myself and each other?
Check to see if who might be checking in.
But I
So-
like what Barbara just said
I
about
love-
learning something every day.
Yes, and that's just the short time that I have known Barbara. I mean, I find myself, I have the book, of course, and because it like fascinates me, and I know that everybody's going, oh yeah, right, no, yeah, right, it works, it works, and she's here to prove it with her books and all the rings. I think this is it gets so exciting.
It's so much joy. I can't
Anybody?
even
This
tell
is
you.
only half of them.
I know.
I tell you, and no one knows rings like Pam, and Pam's teaching me so much. You gotta know Pam. Just being with you, I just appreciate them more. But everyone, even if you're not into wearing rings, go home and see what you have, because not everybody likes rings. And if you don't wear any rings and your life is happy, that's fine. But if you don't wear any rings at all and you're not happy, it means you're settling for whatever life brings you, and your subconscious doesn't feel like you have the right to ask. And if I've ever learned about asking, it's from Robbie Motter, who's the founder of Global Society for Female Entrepreneurs. And there's the book she put together with all of us, the blue book, right over here.
Oh, this
If
is
you
an
don't ask,
organization
you won't
where I
receive.
actually met Barbara because our good friend Betty King, who's the director here,
Yes.
and so the Global Society for Entrepreneurial Women, and so they accepted me too. I'll have you
Well,
know.
we're lucky to have you. And through all this, I got to know Betty King because I went to see a friend of mine, Nicole Farrell. She was at the Hemet Opera House. She was performing, and Betty King showed up. I got to meet Betty. Then she became the director of the Coachella Valley GSFE. Then I got to know Pam, and I got to meet you, and the ring thing just goes on and on and on.
You see, if you put it out there,
You got to put
on,
it out there,
and
but if you never put it out there, it
do we have
dies.
any friends that we know? Can you see it?
Leanne Turner?
Lanaine, Lanaine, you would love this. This is a friend of mine originally from Barnesville, Ohio, a
Okay.
classmate of mine. Lanaine, I'm so glad you tuned in. You would love this. I mean, it is it goes beyond fun. But
Georgia
it's just,
Hastings?
And
Who?
Barbara and Betty King are having, Barbara will be showing all of her jewelry on January
21st. Through much
21st.
of this, it's growing and growing with Betty's amazing inspiration and great ideas. We're collaborating, putting together a whole jewels show.
where is it to be?
It's going to be. Is that the mountain? I want to say the mountain.
It's at
The country club. Is that the
the
mountain?
country
View?
club at
We just went there this
But
morning.
here- in the
Washington
desert.
and 42nd Street.
Oh, okay.
Is it Mountain View or Mountain something? Boy, Betty, I have to
View.
Well,
say.
you know what? When we do the ad, Reno will put an ad tomorrow, and
We will
he
get the right
and
name
get the-
because we were
and-
just there
and
today,
is-
and I have the flyer even. I should have put the flyer
was the other
out.
name
Listen
you
to
said?
that. It's on my phone.
Is it?
Georgia Hastings?
Oh, Georgia Hastings.
We'll
Georgia,
talk about that.
you
Thank
too.
you.
Georgia is a beautiful pianist, and I met her through her association with the Marco Mendez organ. I get excited. Organist. I must have my rings mixed up. But, and Georgia, when you play the piano, if you pull out some of your rings, put them on the right fingers, not on the middle one, not on your thumb, and play and see how much some of the rings that are just in that jewelry box that
Do
you
the
have.
Liberace.
Oh, I love it.
That's right,
Love it.
Georgia. You can be the female Liberace.
Then you got Pat McCann.
Oh, Pat, this is fun. If Pat was here with us, she's a very dear friend of ours here in the desert. She's a fabulous vocalist, and she's a friend of ours, and she's tuned in, which I love you for doing that. And Pat, can you see all of these rings? It's
I'll zoom in on them.
Who?
later. I'll zoom on.
We have some special ones we definitely want to talk about today.
Which one?
Well, I'll tell you, if you are a performer person, this has become one of my all-time favorite rings. Think of it sometimes when you go to choose a ring for your ring wardrobe, that you pick out a ring you want to have the guts to wear, but you're afraid to. And you wear it anyway. It will put you in new creative places like you've never been. And on the right hand, that means it's transformational. I will meet people creatively and connectively with this finger. You walk downtown with this finger, I assure you, you'll bump into somebody interesting, just like the ring you have. And the right index finger is becoming more and more something that we use here. In Indian astrology, when people go to make a deal often, they will wear a ring on their right index finger. And we talked to a wonderful jeweler today from Ozel, we're talking to, about all kinds of projects and ideas. And he noted too, they would wear a ring on the right index finger. It's for creativity, newness, and putting your best foot forward. It's like shaking hands so that everyone is in a win-win.
Oh, fabulous. So, Reno, I know we're timing, we're moving towards...
We're still good.
We still good? Oh, good. He's our timekeeper. Well, so you can come back and join us if you like.
Maybe we can have a series and just keep coming back again.
I know. And you know, and one of the things that does happen with us is tomorrow there'll be an ad, tomorrow or Sunday. By Sunday there'll be a new ad about you and where we can get your books and all of this. And then the following week...
But you need to make that ad about...
The ad about
Betty King.
Boy, we've got to
and
get the
Barbara.
right place. We're so excited
But this
today.
is
We're
not
such
till
a beautiful
January.
January 21st.
I know, but they're working so hard. They've already got a
Almost
room that's
65
got
people.
250 people in it. There's
Yeah,
going to
people
be
are
all
signing
kinds
up.
of people selling everything. There's
just
gonna
selling
be
jewelry.
But the
selling
most
jewelry.
fabulous jewelry, and also creative clothing that actually works with the jewelry. The jewelry will stand out.
And is it
You've
under
gotta
the
go.
GSFE headline?
No.
We're doing it like we're going to donate some money toward GSFA because it's one of our favorite groups.
Okay.
And so lucky and brought us all together. But it's actually a Betty King production, and I'm
Betty's-
lucky to be
yeah.
included with the
Okay.
Babs and Betty. So we're lucky.
Okay, so
as a duo
I will
here.
be talking to Betty in the next couple of days
She
anyway,
is so
and we
creative
will
about
get
this.
the correct
everything.
location.
We were just there 3 hours ago.
3 hours ago.
It's at the corner of Washington and 42nd Street.
And it's beautiful.
Washington and 42nd. What?
It's so
That
elegant.
was it's a big country club.
Is that
Woodbridge? No, I have no idea.
I saw on my phone because Betty sent me the flyer.
Well, we'll get it correct tomorrow for sure, and this way people will. But if you live in the Coachella, anybody will be able to.
Heritage Palms? No.
Will anybody? It's open to the public, I take it.
Yeah, oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's the
and
idea.
sign up now, and we have Betty's number. And I'm happy for people to call me too, but I know Betty's taking all the information down
Okay.
right now and developing it. And what's so exciting about it is she's bringing out all kinds of design people that we probably haven't seen yet in a big degree or large degree, and jewelry all over, and I'll be doing some ring shui. She'll also be doing creative dressing where, you start to get one piece and you put it all together.
That's
And
one
it's
of
a
Betty's
smash.
specialties.
She loves it.
I've known Betty since almost
She
when I
loves
first
it.
came to the desert.
Really?
Yes, and in and out with, I mean, not in and out with her, but like we'll be doing something and then time will go by and then all of a sudden we did a show.
And I don't know that people know what a beautiful voice that you have, and dancing.
Oh, Pam,
And
thank
you were Miss World lifting weights.
We're power lifter.
Power
World
lifter.
champion
Now
power
that's
lifter.
one I didn't know. When did that happen?
When I was 60. And I just found out not too long ago that my record has been broken.
Oh,
and so,
no.
Well, I mean, that just puts the challenge out there in front of me again. But now
Now we
that
gotta
I-
get you another ring for that one.
Yes.
I'm gonna look for a ring with a bodybuilder on it.
Yes, and that was really a wonderful, wonderful time of my life because it was an incredible experience, and the whole thing was built around sending a Down syndrome child to the real championships in Wide World of Sports in Florida. And so we did it, and I set 10 world records, and never, I mean, my poor mother did not give me ballet lessons to have the bar on my back, but there it was, you know.
That's
Just, you know,
stunning.
and now that I've got my rings, because I have a little thing with rings that I love.
Well, I
but
have to
never
see
wear
them.
them.
Let's get together. So, do you hear how you do it? The two of you can't do anything like anyone else. You have to be creative. So whatever does or doesn't land on your fingers has to be unique.
Okay.
Because you're going to find your own way of melding the two of you.
It's
Oh, my
Woodhaven.
Woodhaven, there you go. Woodhaven.
It's
If I get the
Woodhaven.
word mountain, I'll never know.
On January
21st.
21st.
And it's 11:30 to 4, but you want to get there by 11. And this is a chance, you know how you get over the holidays and you're wondering what's next in the world? We're going to get us all ready for 2023 like never before. You want to deck
And it's
out
a
and come
beautiful,
to this
beautiful
luncheon.
country club. There'll be linen tablecloths. There'll be lunch. There'll be beautiful
You'll feel like
glasses.
$1 billion.
And people selling rings.
I've always wanted to feel just like that, you
And
know.
all kinds of jewelry. And we saw some clothes today. You just want to take them home and wear them. They're
Yes.
like art in clothes. And they really set off the
So
jewelry.
everybody, you know, even those of you who are from far away, you know, you can enjoy this as well because you can get Barbara's book and learn about ring shui. And I have found it so fascinating that I'm going to get arrested because I find myself when I'm out in the public looking at people's
Rings.
hands and seeing how, and I always want to say, oh, that woman should probably take that ring off that
And put it
finger.
on a different finger.
Yeah, I don't know why. No, I won't do that to her. But anyway, so is there anything, Reno,
Yes.
what do you have to offer for us today that we've sort of like the rings have taken front and center
I'm going to come over there.
for our little real estate corner? You know, Reno's a realtor, and
Oh, let's talk about rings and realty.
Well, that's
Your clients are going to tell you with their hands what's going on with them when you go to do the house thing. You know that.
Well, that
See?
it creates a good conversation too.
Sure
when,
it
when you're
does.
out and about, if you recognize somebody's jewelry, they like that. But I don't. It's not like it's fake. But usually there's something that they're wearing that's very interesting, and you say something, and next thing you know, there's a story behind it.
There's a general, and I'll tell you, if they're wearing a ring on their right thumb and they're buying or selling a house, they're going to want to run the show. So you let them think they are.
Right, all you realtors hear that?
And if they're wearing a ring on their right ring finger, they're pretty stable people.
pretty what?
Stable.
Oh.
When you have rings on your ring fingers, that was the place everybody just would wear their rings before all this, in many ways, except for royalty, that's another story. That means they're stable. So all these different fingers have something to tell you.
I'm gonna memorize it.
Look at that.
And if there's a ring on every finger, it means they're into so many things. They're going to be late for all their appointments,
Oh.
and they're going to drive you crazy.
That's a good thing to know. Well, if I'm not talking real estate, I'm always talking Marcia. So it's like whatever the opener is, whether it's jewelry or something, it opens the door to a conversation.
Absolutely.
And wherever it
Absolutely.
goes, I'm okay with it. You know, it's.
You're a
met,
cute couple.
Huh?
Last time I
Oh.
saw you, we had coffee together for
Well,
an hour,
because-
and you were not even there. It was just us drinking coffee.
And something told me. I told you that morning. I woke up. I said I need to go to IW. And
Really?
No, and that's when I went, and I saw you.
There you
and
go.
your friend.
And I was with the friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was supposed to go to the casino this morning, but I didn't make it.
Oh.
I woke up thinking that, so I don't know what that meant. But anyway, it's
Well,
another
we
story.
have to like tonight. We'll make up for it tonight. we are going to be actually, which
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
know, 420 Bank Street in Palm Springs. It's
Well, it's
Reno, you tell them.
420 Bank. It's a CBD cannabis facility, and there's like
But-
5 other singers, and Marcia's going to be.
Yeah, I have a friend who put it together and asked me if I would come by and sing a song, and so I'm going to sing a song. But I've never been in the place.
Well, we'll get you a showboat ring for you to stand out in your show. I have an idea for you.
Oh, good! Oh, I
But
can't
there'll be no
wait.
Bob Marley for us. Yeah.
That's
She's just
okay.
gonna
You
sing.
put this ring on, they'll all know who you are, baby.
Oh, and won't forget, and they'll love me. 'cause
They
I
won't
figure
forget.
Reno told me when he saw the friends that will be singing for our friend Nina Henderson at 420 Bank tonight, but dear friend and fabulous singer, and he said, you know, you're going to be singing against a heavy metal, a rock band, you know. It's like,
I was just making it up.
And you'll be the queen bee. How's that? We're going to get you
like
a
the
queen bee
sound of
finger
that.
and you'll be just fine.
well, I think, have we covered it just for now, and we'll put all the information out tomorrow? And
Absolutely.
oh, I love this. I feel like I'm in a Las Vegas showroom, you know, and these are all the
Like
lights.
a kid in a candy store.
Oh, it feels like that.
So I always leave my guests with, may all that has, it's a saying from a company called Broom Closet, and it's, may all that has been reduced to noise in you become music again.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
And then we always add that music and friendship and rings has no distance. We love you.
Love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I am
Thank
so
you.
thrilled.
Thank
We're going
you.
to find that ring for you.
Oh,
We have to
okay.
look. We're so excited.